Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. You have arrived to the conversation that'll end all conversations. The Soul Cast with your host, Woody Wood. And now, without further ado, let's get in that crazy head. Here's your host, Woody Wood.
What's up, people? This is the 8th episode of the Soulcast, and I have the pleasure of speaking with Miss Helen Blocker Adams today, mayoral candidate for Augusta, Georgia, my hometown. Yes. And I'm really glad she came. I do have to mention that Alvin Mason was supposed to be here this morning, and he canceled on a brother. So hopefully we'll try to get him back in here before the election. Anyway, I got Helen Blocker in the house. That's good.
Yes, yes. I'm glad to be here. Hey, Happy Bones.
I'm glad you made it.
Yes, this is really a cool spot, and I love the name of your show.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, whenever I was thinking about the name of the show, I was like, podcast, And then, you know, Coco Rubio that owns the Soul Bar was the first guest. And so as I was thinking about, you know, him being the first guest and everything, it literally just popped in my head, the Soulcast. And I'm a real big James Brown fan, so it all works together, you know, Augusta, Georgia.
Oh, yes. Nice connection. I like the way you connected those dots.
Yeah.
And certainly having Coco Rubio on for your first podcast, that was really cool, too. Yeah, because he's really a cool guy.
Yeah, which happy belated birthday to JB. We miss you, homie. Real talk, real talk.
Yeah, and I just had a birthday, too, on May the 1st.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a Mayday baby. Yes.
No kidding.
Yes.
Well, happy late birthday.
Well, thank you. Thank you. But you know what? I don't call it late because, see, I celebrate my birthday all month long.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you do like me. See, I'm on the first of the month, too, in November. I'm November 6th. I'll be like, this is my birthday month.
Birthday month. That's exactly right. And everybody that knows me knows I like to celebrate all month long.
That's good.
Yes.
Well, you had a busy morning already, hadn't you?
Oh, I sure have. You know, one thing about campaigning, it's nonstop. I mean, literally nonstop. Even when you're sleeping, you're campaigning because you're thinking about somebody you need to see or talk to. But on Sundays, ever since the first Sunday in January, I have been visiting different churches, and it gives me exposure to a lot of people. There's a lot of pastors that I know in the community, and some of them that I don't. Now, most of the time, the pastors know that I'm coming in advance, so at least they'll get a chance to see me. And this morning, I was at 2 different churches right in the heart of downtown, the East Augusta area, and it was a wonderful worship service, and got a chance to say hello and stand up and introduce myself to the members.
And it's across all denominations. You don't like?
Oh yes, yeah. I have been to a Jewish temple. One Sunday, I've been to Baptist church, I've been to Episcopal, Presbyterian, and non-denominational. So when it comes to the diversity of our community, it represents so many. So I don't disclude anybody. And my problem is that there's only but so many Sundays left in between now and the election day.
That's true.
Yes.
Now, I wanted to ask, I'm pretty sure I've asked every guest this, and you being on the campaign trail and meeting so many people.
Oh, my goodness.
Do you feel like, I feel like there's a paradigm shift that's been happening slowly. And people are becoming more nicer, more polite. And I don't know if it's just me and my personal experience with people or if it's generally getting like that. Do you feel like people are becoming nicer or?
Well, I can't really say that people are becoming nicer because people in Augusta in the South, we're pretty nice folks all the time. And that's one of the reasons I'm running for mayor is because we have great people in Augusta.
Right.
We have, Augusta is a great city. We have so much potential if we all come together and work for a common vision and a common goal. But I can't say, Happy Bones, that people are getting nicer. You know, I just think there's a lot of nice folks in Augusta anyway. And me, my personality, I don't meet a stranger. So to me, you know, that's the way it usually is for me. People,
well, me and you the same on that.
Okay. Yeah. You know, and when you're nice to somebody and you're genuine and you're authentic, then it's reciprocated.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's almost, if you see somebody with the frown, you don't know what's going on in their head at that time. And so sometimes you might be the smile or the positive voice that they need to just get them through whatever they're going through at that particular time.
Right, absolutely. And, you know, I know there's a lot of gnats down here, but whenever we're doing this, sometimes we actually waving at you.
Oh,
even if you're a stranger.
All right. That's exactly right.
Now,
That's exactly right. That's funny.
I was born University Hospital, 1975. On 11:06 at 11:06 a.m. 1975.
Ooh, you young blood.
Just a little baby boy.
Oh my gosh. I graduated from high school in 77, dude.
I heard you talking about your parents retired in 75, and I was like, But I love Augusta, and you know, I've lived here most of my life. I've lived a few other places here and there, but I always come back to Augusta. I always come back to Georgia.
Yes.
Savannah is actually one of my favorite cities that I've ever been to.
Okay.
I love the history in Augusta. I love the downtown area, and I love that downtown's really independent.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of independent business owners and
Small
artists
business,
and all that
and
stuff.
young like yourself.
Right, and you know, 20 years ago, honestly, the downtown area was derelict. It was defunct. It was a ghost town down here almost.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a few little places, but you know, we brought it up. You know, the
and that's what
artists
the
brought it up.
exodus, you know, when we had the exodus of the big department stores,
Right.
when the malls came, that's when Augusta had to go through a shift.
A shift, yeah,
A shift, sure it is. But
absolutely.
yeah, that shift is taking place now in a major way. When I look at a lot, yes, there's still a lot of empty buildings in the downtown area, but there's a lot of treasures downtown. I tell people they need to just get out of their vehicle, have some time on their hand, a beautiful day like today, Sunday, and just get out of their car and walk. You'd be surprised how those, you know, what I really like about what some small business people have done in Augusta is utilizing space in a way that they're sharing the space. For example, a building like the size of this, there may be 1/4 of it that's, they sell jewelry. Maybe another segment of it, they might be selling a completely different product.
Right.
So they're sharing the space, which is keeping their overhead low. So they're being creative as an entrepreneur, which I'm an entrepreneur for 22 years. So that's what I see exciting in downtown Augusta. And
Yeah, absolutely.
And what that does is give more people an opportunity to pursue their dreams of going into business for themselves. So it's really exciting, and there's a lot of businesses popping up in downtown Augusta.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You
absolutely.
really have to be out of your car to see it, though.
Well, you know what? It's funny you say that because I have just recently I had a friend come and meet me downtown, and she doesn't get downtown that much. She stays out in Evans, and she comes downtown, and I'm walking around, I'm showing her all these little spots. We go to eat at a couple of places, have a few
Yes.
drinks, and she literally is like, I didn't realize this was here.
That's exactly
And I'm
right.
like, you know, there's these hidden gems in
Oh, yeah.
Augusta that, you know, like Cafe 209.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh,
That
yeah.
food
Well,
is
that's
like-
not hidden. I think everybody knows Cafe 209.
Yeah, but
I mean,
I
have the-
literally, whenever I say it, I have people that say, "What's that?"
Oh,
and I'm
okay,
like, "Okay,
yeah.
well, let me educate you on some good food
boy,
real
if you
quick."
want some good Southern food, that's right. Cassandra and Glenn Brinson, they have perfected the art of Southern food, prepared in a way that doesn't take them long, and you know, getting people in and out in a very nice, comfortable atmosphere. I mean, that's the place to go. And whether you're a politician, whether you want to network, whether you want to be seen, or go to see somebody else, that's a great spot.
And I have to say,
Yeah.
Cassandra is so elegant.
Yes.
I love seeing her walk out on the floor. I'm like,
she
hey.
is. Hey. Oh, yeah. But yeah, there are a lot of hidden treasures. And even not just on Broad Street, but if you go on those side streets, you know, 7th Street, 8th Street.
Yep.
8th Street, that's where our campaign headquarters is located.
Oh, okay.
216 8th Street.
All right.
And on that one street, you've got a variety of new businesses that's popping up. You got that barbershop.
Yeah.
A big, huge barbershop right there on the corner of 8th and Broad.
Yep.
I mean, he moved from another location. where he was, but he needed more space.
Is that the same guy that had Tighten Up?
Yes.
Okay.
Isn't that cool? So now he's
good.
in a place that's 4 times bigger. It's very visible. Got all the windows showing. You can see right through.
Yep.
So I mean, I just love that. I love downtown, and I love it.
Now there's a lot of talk about the dike being removed. How do you feel about all that?
You know, one of the things in terms of my platform is not to spend money on something new. We don't need a new flavor of the month. Baskin and Robbins, they were smart enough to stop at 31.
Right.
Okay, 31 flavors, that's it, no more. And what we've got to do, and my plans in my first 4 years of office, after I win on May the 20th,
right.
Happy Bones, is to clean up what needs to be cleaned up and become better stewards of the assets that we already have. One of the things we have not done a very good job of, we'll build something new and it's a nice new shiny piece of whatever it is, a building or an event or but we don't take into consideration it has to be maintained. We don't take into consideration that it has to be staffed, and as a result, or if you need more sustainable monies, we don't have a game plan on how we're going to fill this place up. Well, the place right across from you where we are right now, the Golf Gardens, is an example.
Yes.
Huge investment from the local government and state dollars, and now it's an empty lot with a big brick wall around it. I mean, shame on our elected officials for letting that go when it could have been, when it was in its heyday, it was beautiful in there.
Oh yeah.
But one of the problems I always had with it was that tall wall. It made it seem like, those are sacred. Exclusivity. And I don't like tear that wall down. Let people see what's in there.
Yeah, put a chain link fence up.
Put a chain, yeah.
I can see through that.
or some other kind of nice fence that's aesthetically nice, but that you can be able to see through. So we've got to be better stewards of the assets that we already have, then look at possibly doing some other things. But, Riverwalk, there's so many wonderful things. Now, I'm happy that our commissioners recently allocated some money to trim the shrubbery and clean up that area downtown, so that we got to bring the pride back. Where's the pride? How dare we just 2 weeks out of a year spruce up for out of town guests, which is a wonderful thing. But what about the guests, we citizens that live here, the other 50 weeks of the year? We need to clean it up 52 weeks of the year, and that's what will happen under my watch.
Well, also, I think that it would be nice if on a community level, the people started standing up a little bit and took pride themselves. I mean, it's not all about what the government allocates for, like if I'm walking down Broad Street and I see a cup on the ground, I pick that cup up and I put it in the trash.
You're exactly right.
And that's what everybody should be doing.
You're exactly right. But I think what has happened, I think with anything, if you have a child and they get away with everything. I mean, they just, they're really smooth in how they appeal to your emotion, and they get away with something over and over and over again. After a while, they're going to get complacent and not even do what they know they're supposed to do. Right. And I think that's what's happened over a period of years, is that we've gotten complacent as a community. The lack of pride, because our city leaders, they don't seem to care. Well, I don't care either. So so a new attitude and a spirit and an energy has to take place to say, wait a minute now, this is your community, it's our community, all of us together, and somebody needs to kind of rally to get that new energy, that new sense of, you're right, I should have picked up that piece of paper. But if nobody is holding anybody accountable and we're just kind of doing whatever we want to do, then it's going to continue the way things are going. But I just believe the right leader, me, getting in there to say, hey, look, you know what? Let's work together to clean up this community. Right. We all had a hand in it, and unless that rallying cry is out there, then it's going to be business as usual. Business as usual is not working in Augusta. That has to stop.
Right. Well, and this might be a hard question, but how do you feel about the new sheriff?
Oh, Richard
like
Roundtree.
Roundtree?
Oh, yes, he's doing a fabulous job.
Now, I like his idea of getting on the community level and getting to know the people in the community.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the things that he campaigned on was community policing.
Right.
And I think that's so important because, see, I'm a relationship builder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I love to, that's why I said earlier, I don't meet a stranger. And anybody that knows me, what you see of me today, I'll be the same anywhere, anytime you see me.
Right.
Okay. And no matter who I'm with.
And also, when she's elected mayor, I'm going to have her phone number in my phone.
That's right. That's right. You sure will. You sure. I mean, you can have it now. It's going to be the same number, but I'll probably have another number as well. But yes, that community policing is important because policemen, they have to do their job. They have certain laws that they have to. I mean, if somebody's done something bad, then, they got to put cuffs on you and put you in jail.
Right.
But at the same time, building a relationship with that police officer so that, maybe that police officer, if he or she is walking in a particular neighborhood or riding the bicycles like they do in downtown, or on the motorcycles, they're up close and more personal. And then they get to know, because the way the county is configured, there's X number of deputy sheriffs per area of the city.
Right, and they work that same area.
work that same area. So you can get to know each other. They get to know when that car. Really, I've never seen that car on this street before.
Yeah.
Or maybe this might be the car of a friend or relative, but if it's consistently, then, so it's those type of things, and that's what the community policing is all about, and I totally support it, and I think he's doing a good job.
Okay, good. Well,
he's built a great team, too. He has a great team of people that he's put around him to help carry out the activities of the sheriff's office as well.
That's my issue with police in general is I want them to be personable. I want to go back to the Mayberry type of things. And I understand that our population is great here. We've got a huge population. But also, you can see me personally walking down Broad Street almost every day of the week. If I'm not out of town or something like that, I'm usually walking down Broad Street.
Okay.
So if the cops come by on the bicycles and I say, hey, I would like for them to say hey to me.
Right.
Now, there are a few cops that just recently, like there's one, his name's Josh, and he's really awesome. He rides around on the bike all the time. And he's like, hey, how you doing? And he'll stop and talk to you and get to know you. He knows my name.
Right.
He knows what I do, and then that way, when he's riding around, he knows that I'm okay.
Exactly.
And look out for me because, I'm in part of the community.
Exactly. That's
I
exactly
really like
right.
that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I want more of that to happen because, I know that there are bad people and good people in every type of thing that you're going to do, but you also have to remember that we're all humans.
That's right.
But beginning of the day when we wake up, before we're employees or mayors or moms or dads, we're humans.
That's right.
And we all deserve to give and receive respect from each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, I totally agree with you.
What about the entertainment situation in town? Now, Global Spectrum took over the arena and Imperial. Well, not the Imperial, but
the James Brown Arena and the Bell Auditorium.
Yes.
And they're doing, as far as I can tell, a very good job of attracting
they're getting
good
more
acts.
good acts in here, and I would like to see more of that too. But now we got the T Center, and it's freaking huge.
It is
we
huge.
can put some big concerts on there.
Yeah, we could put some big concerts, and I can't remember the gentleman's name, but they've got someone that's his role is to, along with Barry White with the Augusta Convention and Visitors Bureau, to reach out to entertainers and promoters to bring big acts to the Augusta area. And what that does is just open up opportunities for other type of entertainment, not just I guess music, but whether it's
comedy or plays.
Yeah, comedy, plays, but I'm also thinking of even in terms of conventions. If you have a convention and lectures that are there, then other areas, they have to come. They want to entertain somewhere, so they can come on or be entertained somewhere, so they can go to the downtown on Broad Street and be able to go to a variety of activities. So it's a I want to say a multi-purpose, because I understand. I think I read somewhere that they even had a basketball tournament in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In the T Center?
In the T Center.
I heard.
And they put
yeah.
up the basketball hoops and the whole works, and so I think there's a variety of things that they can do in that facility to kind of attract a diversity of,
I think
of
you're
entertainment related. And I can't remember what, but I think I remember reading somewhere that there was a basketball tournament in there.
Yeah, I think I did. I think I did too.
Yeah, how
now,
about that?
you're right about. I think you're right about the complacency that's going on, because if you live in the city, then you kind of you get used to. Oh, well, we got this going on, But if I lived way down an hour past Waynesboro in Millen, then I'd be dying to come to Augusta to do something.
That's exactly right.
And we've got a huge amount of rural area out there.
That's right.
That we need to target those people and say, come into a town.
And
have a good time.
that's a good point, because my background is marketing, public relations, and one of the things I think we've got to do a better job of, I guess, as entertainers and promoters, is reach out. Because if you think of the CSRA, that's 13 counties. That's Burke County, Columbia County, Aiken County. And when you look at some of these, Rennes is not in the CSRA, but Rennes is less than an hour away, going down Highway 1. So if there's a way that the entertainment outlets will reach out, whether it's, I know a lot of things are done online, like what this podcast is, but everybody isn't online. Everybody isn't on Facebook. And so whether it's an article in most of those towns have a weekly,
right,
a weekly newspaper.
Yeah.
And if there's a way to create a events calendar, for example. Here's what's going on in Augusta, because you're right, in those smaller cities, they are very limited in entertainment type of venues. And we've got tons of stuff. We want people from out of town to come into Augusta and spend their money and stay overnight. We want that. And I think that's something that's probably we're not really maximizing to our full potential, I think
I dropped the ball on that too, because I'm a musician, and sometimes when you're promoting, you forget about those rural areas.
Yeah, exactly. But you, as a musician, that really shouldn't be your role.
Right. Well, you're right about that.
Because you musicians usually, that's what they do. They're a musician.
Yeah, I have to focus on that one thing to be an expert in that one thing.
And that's exactly right. Now, not to say, unlike I heard of this, did this Mayfeather guy, did he win? Mayweather, did he win last night?
I don't know. Did he win last night, Rob?
I don't know.
I don't think he did.
I don't know. Well, I know that I think he's undefeated as far as
awesome.
I know.
I know that.
And he's awesome. And he's like the highest paid sports athlete right now.
I didn't know that.
And last night, whether he won or lost, he got $40 million, whether he won or lost.
Ooh.
Now, that's just crazy, stupid money, right? Now, here's my point in mentioning him is that when we talk about entertainment and promoting, and he's his own promoter. This is something that I recently read about him, and I'm just so fascinated because he's like a young man, early 30s. He's his own promoter. He does his own HBO deals where he boxes and promotes. So he keeps all that money. There's no middleman.
Right.
And so that's pretty clever.
Yeah,
That's a smart businessman.
Yes, that is smart.
That is a smart businessman. So I think, when you think of the person, Michaela, that's working with you, maybe that's something we can kind of plant in her mind that, hey, look, in promoting you and your upcoming gigs, let's branch out outside of Richmond County, because I know some people right now in South Augusta that have told me to my face, they haven't been downtown in years. And that's just absurd to me.
Yeah, I'm
like, what? I'm downtown every day.
You don't know what you're missing out on.
And so people inside, be a tourist in your own town. Because we've got even like the Augusta Canal, riding that boat down the canal. Oh my goodness. You ride down to a certain point, you'll think you're not even in Augusta anymore.
Yeah,
we
really
just got really some cool things. We've just got to step out, forget about an incident that occurred 5 years ago, and come to 2014 and realize, you know what, we have a great city, we have a lot to offer. Yes, we have some things we got to work on, but you know, we all need to play a part. And I think people who are negative, that's why I love your positive energy, because if it wasn't, I wouldn't be here.
Right.
I mean, it's just that simple.
I appreciate that too.
Yeah,
I appreciate
that's
that too.
so important. You can read negative stuff all day long in the news, and people don't hang around me that's negative too long, because
me too.
I'm, you know,
absolutely.
yeah.
I ain't got time for that.
No, that's right. Don't have time for that.
I ain't got time for that. No, I really do. I believe in the power of positive thinking. Now, and I also like that I read, read about you online. You're solution oriented. You like to talk about solutions, and I like that, because you're right. What happened 5 years ago, what happened 5 minutes ago is over and done with.
Exactly.
What we're going to focus on is how to fix the problems and stop talking about the problems.
That's exactly
So let's
right.
talk about how to fix the problems instead of talking about the problems, because all I hear about is people talking about the problems.
That's right.
And it's driving me crazy.
Yeah. No, I am definitely a solutions oriented person. If there is a problem, and my solutions aren't necessarily what you call traditional. For example, we need to clean up Augusta. I mean, literally all over Augusta. And yes, we need to take personal responsibility as well. But at the same time, when it comes to cleaning up, and yes, we have some budget issues, budget challenges. We're, $8 million plus deficit that's going on right now.
Right.
Okay. So with that in mind, we are lacking the number of employees that we need to really clean and police the city the way it needs to be policed, as in cleaning up the city. So the solution to that is what I bring into the table when I become mayor is, let's do this. Now, this is an idea that a volunteer supporter of mine gave me, which I think is brilliant. Me being an entrepreneur, how about if I have a meeting with all of the landscape lawn care businesses in Augusta, and we sit down and have a meeting and say, look, you know what? You guys are experts in what you do. I believe in dealing with subject matter experts. I think I can tell by your face, you know where I'm going with this. How about we assign XYZ lawn care business to this area of town? First of all, we'll find out where the trouble areas are and that really need the most work by working with the department that handles that. Okay. Now, I've already ran this by that person, and he said, Helen, that idea is brilliant. So we're on it as soon as I get in office. Get with the lawn care businesses, sit down with them, and then they decide which ones. Okay. In exchange, they keep and maintain that particular area of the city. In exchange, they put their sign up. This is manicured by XYZ. So it's exposure to them, free advertising, just like a adopt a highway concept.
Right.
Okay. That concept will energize the community, because now we've all bought in. There's enough lawn care businesses where we can divvy up Augusta, in addition to what the paid employees. I'm not talking about taking anybody's job away. We're talking about helping until extra hands, so that the pride can come back into Augusta in terms of a clean Augusta, and it will help the morale of people when they're driving around the city. Okay, oh wow, because there are people, you've been by certain areas that the weeds are getting taller and taller and taller, and the reason we can't get to it is because we simply don't have the manpower, we don't have the budget. So it's not going to go away in the next 6 months.
Right.
So we got to have another plan.
Yeah.
And that's my plan.
I love that plan, by the way.
Thank you.
But let me ask you this. This goes along kind of with what we're talking about right here. Seattle just approved they're going to have their first ever food forest, and it's going to be in a park.
What is a food forest?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
I've been
it
studying.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
I've been studying permaculture a little bit here and there.
Okay.
And I want to start growing my own food.
Okay.
And I really love staying local. I love patronizing.
Like the Market Bakery on Broad. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh yes.
The veggie truck down at Croc
absolutely.
Center. You want to patronize those local things that are getting all your food
Totally
from
support local business.
Yes. Now, the Seattle just approved to have the food forest, and this food forest will literally be grown in a public park. It'll be permaculture, so it's not actually like tilled up land or anything like that.
Okay.
It's natural with the nature that's there. It grows food, and anybody can come and pick off off the vine,
Oh,
and
wow.
Everybody can be part of it.
Now, where is this done? Is this in a
It's
certain area of the city?
I can't remember exactly where, but it's in Seattle.
I'll Google.
It's a park. It's a public park in the city. Now, I'm not sure how it would work because, say, the median on Green Street is very big, and it's nothing but grass. Now, I don't know if the carbon monoxide from the cars would benefit towards, because then the plants that are growing there would convert it and it would help with that, but I don't know if it would hurt the food.
Okay.
You see,
yeah.
but trying to find a place where we could do a food forest would be cool.
Yeah, I think that would be. I think that's an excellent idea.
The garden up there.
Yeah,
the
you
golf
know
garden.
what? You're exactly right. Now that
we could feed a whole bunch of people.
That would be a better place, because when I think of Green Street, I'm thinking of safety issues. I'm thinking of traffic.
Yeah, people in the median and stuff
so
like that.
So that's the first thing that went through my mind.
There's a lot of problems with that, but I mean something like that.
But the golf gardens, I mean, that's acres of land that would be really ideal. I like that.
And
I
then
love different concepts.
You could
like
have
that.
on a voluntary basis a group of people that go in there, and then also have it open to the public.
And maintain it and all that. Yes.
Anybody can go in there and help, volunteer, maintain, give their free time, and then everybody benefits from it.
Yeah, it's called a food forest.
Food forest.
I'll have to Google that. I like that. See, I like creative things like that.
Yeah.
And I'm big on health, healthy food, healthy eating, and definitely local businesses, locally grown foods. And so that concept is really, I like it. I like it. And what it does also is engage the community.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a whole different way that we haven't seen before.
Well, we got to give them something. We got to, what I think people have gotten away from is they don't realize that this is our city. This is not, we're not allowed to live here. This is our city. We built this city. We continue to make the city grow.
Exactly.
We continue to contribute to our city. And if, you take pride, like you're saying, in what we're doing here in Augusta, and take pride in the future of Augusta.
That's right. For our children.
For
and
our children and their
children's
children's. Absolutely. I've got he'll be 17 this year. I've got a 17-year-old son. And, it feels good whenever you do realize this is my city.
Right, that's right. That's right.
And I can go to this little spot right here. I can pick some vegetables for dinner tonight.
Yeah.
And I also believe in a resource-based economy. If we're really good at making peaches, and Alabama's really good at growing oranges, or whatever, Florida's really good at growing oranges, then we'll give them some of our peaches. I'll take some of their oranges.
Yeah, it's
but
called
this
bartering.
But what I want to do is you don't want to be greedy. We're going to take what we need off the table, and we're going to leave the rest for everybody else.
Right.
I think the greedy mentality is take what I want, and we're not giving back enough.
That's right.
As individuals, I'm going to look in the mirror in the morning and I'm going to say, today I'm going to go downtown, I'm going to do something good.
Yeah. How old are you? You're awfully young to be thinking with so much wisdom.
I'm 38.
38, okay.
But I've lived a crazy life. So I've been a lot of places and done a lot of things. Probably way before a lot of people. I don't know, But it's like that old Albert King song. He says, I've done things that kings and queens never done.
Oh my goodness. Well, I tell you what, we are definitely having a soul to soul conversation here.
Right,
and this is fun. As a matter of fact, I'm having flashbacks because I love talk radio. I mean, I love talk radio, and I used to be a talk radio host for years, about 5 or 6 years.
You were named one of the top 10 talk show hosts 2010.
Yes,
right? In America.
Yeah.
That's
I was in America.
Yeah, in all of America.
All of America. And it was, what I like so much about talk radio is being able to communicate and share information and have a dialogue, and information empowers people. And that's why even as mayor, the more information that I can share about challenges so that we can get solutions, because sometimes if you don't address a problem problem like teenage pregnancy, like HIV/AIDS, like childhood obesity, and some of those that are plaguing our community, like poverty. Poverty is still at 23%. I mean, those are issues that are not going to go away if there's not a voice that's making it loud and clear. No, not under my watch. We got to reduce these numbers. We need to pull together and reduce these numbers. But if it's like, well, it's kind of if it's out there for a minute and then put back under the table, because we really don't want to talk about that, because that's not really a real nice, sexy subject to talk about when you're running for an elected office. But it needs to be in the forefront of people over a period of time so that it will resonate, and then the solutions will come.
Absolutely.
And those are issues in Augusta that's been around just too long, and we've got to reduce those numbers.
Well, I remember whenever I was younger that there's not many places in Augusta for, say, someone between the ages of 17 to 20 to do.
Okay, yeah, because they need an ID to get into a night spot that sells alcohol.
Yeah.
I've had young people telling me that. And not only that, what about the middle and high school age kids?
Yeah.
We are not a children-friendly city.
Right.
And that's high on my platform, is that we've got to...
If we give them something to take pride in, we say, all right, we're going to give this to you guys. This is yours right here.
That's right.
This is, you guys take care of it.
Right.
Take pride in it, and this is what you're going to contribute to the city.
That's right.
And you get a voice too, and then it gives them pride in the city to the point where they're not out here busting windows.
That's right.
And spray painting on stuff.
That's exactly right.
And skateboarding on people's cars.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're so right, and that's why I've got a children and youth council that I'm going to create that will give these young people a voice and give them the opportunity to share ideas, some things that they want to do, some businesses like Dave & Buster's. I've already started making phone calls to there's a company called Dave & Buster's, an entertainment venue. There's I think 2 or 3 of them in Atlanta, and I'm told that it is a really, really fun place for adults and for children. And it's something like that we need in Augusta. And there's some other things that we're looking at too, because this is information that I love to share information, but I love to get information from people who are interested in that, like kids. I'm not a kid anymore, so I don't know what the kids want, so I've got to ask the kids.
Yeah.
What is it that you want? What do you need?
Right.
What is missing here in Augusta? And I've got a whole list of things
to start working on. That's what's up.
And and most of them are not unreasonable.
Right. Doable
very
things.
doable things that can be implemented, and it's just a matter of adults just coming together and let's making it happen.
Well, another idea that I'm gonna throw these at you now that you like.
Okay, oh my goodness, we're solving the world right here. We're solving the world.
We're talking solutions, people.
Solutions, that's right. We're talking solutions here in Augusta. So you know what? Maybe after I become mayor, can be. So one of the things that I do want to do is have some type of a regular way of communicating
with the people.
And maybe this can be a way to do that. This is just an idea.
Eventually we're going to go live. And it'll be broadcast live to Ustream and MixLR, and I'll have a laptop where people can actually
and be able
questions.
to ask. Yeah,
so that's really interacting with the people right there.
Yeah, I love that.
So yeah, we definitely need to do that. You've heard of flash mobs before, right?
Yes.
Well, I had this idea, and I looked it up, and other people have had the similar idea. But what if I was able to get a group of, say, 100 people?
Okay.
And I went to Barry at Nacho. He's the owner of Nachos.
Okay.
And I said, hey, Barry, how much money would I need to spend in your establishment for you to switch all your to-go boxes from styrofoam to recyclable material, or maybe change all your light bulbs from the energy efficient light bulbs, something like that. Just so, and then he gives me a number. Then I get a flash mob, a group of people up together in the Commons, and I say, okay, today we're going to patronize such and such.
Okay.
And what they're going to do for us, if we reach this number, then they're going to change all of their styrofoam to-go stuff to recyclable to-go stuff.
Okay.
And little things like that. And then it's not only asking them to help. It's not like we're going in and saying, you need to do this for the environment.
Right.
How about we help you do this?
Yeah.
So
what you're doing is empowering, you're educating, you're doing something that's fun, and everybody gets to buy in.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they feel like they're a part of it
They
because
feel like
they made a change in our local city, and it's gonna affect us in the long run in a big way. But
That's right.
right now it's just this little small thing that we're doing.
Right.
But in the long run is what we're looking at, and I would like to do things like that across the board. You could patronize, you could do all kinds of different things with a mob of people.
Oh, absolutely. And it's just a matter of someone coordinating it, and of course we would have to get public safety involved so that everything can be in order. But it's doable.
Yeah.
I mean, that is definitely doable. That's very entrepreneurial idea that you've talked about, and it's a win-win. I mean, it's a win-win.
Right, yeah. We get to hang out in a group and enjoy some Nacho Mama's tacos.
Okay.
And maybe some margaritas.
Okay.
And then we get to help the city at the same time.
Designated driver.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, I had another idea. Oh, my goodness. I'm sitting here with the future mayor talking about my business idea. Okay, I'm looking into buying me a pedicab.
Okay.
And I'm going to get the license for it, get the insurance for it, and I got a driver already.
Okay.
And I'm going to do advertisements on the back of it and everything, right? And it's big enough for 2 people to ride in, and it's going to be on a tips basis.
Okay.
But my driver's going to rent the pedicab from me on a weekly basis.
Okay.
So I get money, he gets money, everybody wins, and downtown gets a pedicab.
Yeah.
And hopefully I can build it up and get more pedicabs.
Yeah, that's neat.
Because, I mean, if you're on 11th Street and you want to go to 9th, it might be worth $5 for you just to get a ride down there if you're with your girl and you don't necessarily want to walk that far because you might break a sweat,
Right,
and
right.
you got your makeup on, you can't.
Right. Oh, that's clever. I like that. Very
and it's
good.
on tip basis.
Yeah.
So, you could get a really drunk guy on Masters Week to be like, oh, man, you drove me 10 blocks. Here's $100.
That is very true. A lot of Masters guests are very generous during that time that they're here.
They are.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Idea Man. I like that. Soul-to-soul conversation with Happy Bones.
Yeah.
All righty now. I bet you haven't had this much fun, huh?
No, actually.
I know.
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I did not expect to have this much fun tonight. I'm falling in love with Helen Blocker right now.
Happy Bones.
I'm going to need y'all to give us a minute.
Okay. But you know what? Everybody has gifts. Okay, and I believe God's given me a gift of easily communicating with people, helping people feel at ease. I'm listening to them in a way,
which is a lost art.
Which is a lost art. Which and listening to someone is so important because it makes them feel like they're important and everybody is important.
You're giving them your full attention.
Full attention, and so as a result, as mayor, that's what I want people to see is that I'm going to listen to you. I might not be able to help resolve all the problems right away, but I'm the type. I return phone calls, okay, within a reasonable time. I got a real pet peeve about people who don't return phone calls.
Yeah.
Even if it's as simple as, hey,
business.
It is bad business. I return the phone call, and obviously I'm going to have a system and people in place to, if someone contacts me directly for whatever issue, or I run into someone out while I'm out doing mayoral duties, there'll be a process. But I can assure you that the process that I'm going to establish of whatever issue needs to be resolved is going to get resolved. And then I'm going to want a report, maybe whether it's monthly or weekly, back to me to make sure, because if I tell you, Happy Bones, that yes, I'll get that. I'll get on that particular issue that you bring to me, and it's May the 4th.
Right.
And then I'm expecting, depending on what it is, for it to be resolved within a reasonable time. So when I get a report back in 30 days, for example, and that hasn't, you haven't even been called or followed back up with, well, I'm on the phone with whoever is supposed to be dealing with that, because that's just, it's important to follow up. It's important to listen, follow up, and get the job done. Let's get the job done. Let's get that person's issue resolved. Because if we have happy Richmond County residents, then that's going to elevate the whole attitude and the spirit of Augusta also. And I like to have fun. I mean, campaigning is fun. Yes, it's hard work, but it's still fun because I'm interacting with people and radio and what we're doing here. Yeah, yeah. You're probably, it's probably going to be, you know what? The next time you interview somebody, you're going to, in the back of your mind, be like, man, I wish Helen Blocker Adams was back because she was a lot more fun. This sure is boring. But then you got to make sure that you have a good poker face and don't let that person feel like, that they're not important.
Right,
but,
exactly.
But they won't be as much fun as me. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yes, so far that statement has become very true. Well, I actually was, I was thinking that if and the election's on the 20th, right?
On the 20th of May. Yes, it is.
And so what is your thoughts on, like, I know that there's a lot of bickering in the council. Like, I mean, is the role of the mayor, I mean, like, how hard is it to get around all that stuff?
Well, the role of the mayor is to set the tone of a county commission meeting, set the tone of what she or he wants people to see and perceive in our county government. So absolutely, one of the first things that I plan on doing is developing a relationship with each one of the county commissioners by literally going with them in their vehicle, riding around in their vehicle through their respective district, taking notes of what's good, what are some of the challenges, what would you like to be able to see, and then I'm going to do that with each of the commissioners.
Okay.
And what will be happening during that whole process is we're developing a rapport. I'm getting to know them, they're getting to know me. And they're going to see that it's all about a team. It's not about me. This is about Augusta.
Right.
And if they see that I'm genuine about that, and I am, and they will see that very easily, because we've been here almost an hour, and you can tell I'm pretty easy to get along with, but at the same time, when it comes to things that we need to do, then I'll be firm about those particular issues. But that's one of the things that I want to be able to do is build that rapport. And if you have a relationship, then you've got trust and respect. If you got trust and respect, you're not going to have a lot of those shenanigans that's going on now with our county commission.
Right.
You're simply just not going to have
it.
So the mayor sets the tone.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that. And that goes back to what we were speaking on earlier, where I asked you if people are becoming more nice or is it just me? Because my interactions with people are my interactions with people, and I don't listen to the opinions of other people where that person is concerned before I know that person.
That's right. That's a good philosophy.
Right. I'm going to make my choice on that person whenever I meet that person. My interactions with that person.
That's right. That's
and 9 times out of 10, I have a totally different experience with that person than these people that badmouth this person.
That's exactly right.
So what you're saying is that you're going to, get a rapport with these people and make sure that they know that you're on their side.
That's right.
And you're going to talk about things.
That's
and
right.
You're not going to be like, oh, no, I'm not doing that.
Right.
No. Now, another thing, Deke, and Deke's a good guy and everything, trying to bow mouth Deke and nothing like that. But he said he was going to put, I think the number was 30 kiosks downtown for the flyers for local artists that do things, and he ended up putting one in front of the Soul Bar and one in front of Pizza Joint. There are only two kiosks downtown, and then they started that little caddy thing where the guys would. Now, I'm an artist. I put my posters up on the kiosk where it's supposed to be, and the caddy guys would come by and clean the kiosk off, disregarding the dates on all of the things, and that would tick me off. Now the caddy guys are gone, and so and then they started putting up all those the pretty silver metal things where the new lights came in, and they tried their best to keep them clean, but they couldn't because there's no place for us to put our flyers. You see, and so if we had more of those kiosks downtown, it would make for a cleaner place. I mean, that's what they do in Europe. Like almost every city in Europe has those kiosks,
exactly right,
where they put their advertisements up, and you can put your yard sale signs up, your lawn care business signs, whatever. It doesn't have to be musicians and artists.
From an entrepreneurial standpoint, those kiosks that's sponsored by XYZ business.
Yes.
Now I'm guessing a kiosk may cost what, $1,000?
Probably.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah. I don't know.
Let's just say hypothetically, you've got between, and now that we've got the new hotel on the far end, around the Fifth Street, now conceivably we've got a lot of potential things that's going on up and down all of Broad Street. Well, from 5th to 13th Street.
Right.
Okay. So, so you're thinking maybe a minimum of 6 kiosks per side of the street, or is that too many?
No, I would say that between, about 15 would probably be good. Maybe 7 on each side.
Yeah, seven on each side.
Yeah.
So you're looking at 14.
Because that would be one every 2 blocks.
Right, that's what I was thinking. So I'm just kind of doing the math. And let's just say hypothetically it's $1,000 each. So now you're looking at what, $14,000. But if each one of them was sponsored by, one sponsored by the Chronicle, another one sponsored by ESI, another one sponsored by Wells Fargo. I mean, that's something that the entrepreneurial mind in me, that's what comes in my mind, because that's
a good idea.
That's a free enterprise type, because if not, the government would have to maintain it, because that's, once again, it goes back to my 31 flavors. It's good to have a new shiny thing, but it still has to be maintained. Somebody has to take ownership of it.
Right.
So
now that comes back to us as individuals too, because me as an artist, if I put a poster up somewhere after that date, and please take note, artists.
After that date,
go and clean up your. I don't care, man. Go and clean up your posters.
And I totally agree, because as a candidate, all of these signs that's up, we have to, after the election, if we won, we have to, within like 7 to 10 days, get those signs up. So it's the same concept. And see, one of the things that would have to happen with that concept of the kiosk is just make sure that all of the entertainers and the promoters know those are the rules. This is what everybody may not just assume a entertainer. I'm just trying to look at both sides of the issue. If XYZ promoter put the flyer up, he or she may think that someone else is policing that area and taking the flyers down.
Right.
Unless there is something in writing to say, hey, look, we're all in this together. We want to promote and self-promote. We got to get our hustle on. As campaigners, we do that too. Okay. Well, if we set some parameters of what needs to be done with those kiosks, then everybody will know.
Right.
And then we can call, if everybody knows and it's in writing and everybody's got a memo, then when someone doesn't do what they're supposed to, you could put it on the kiosk. So that's what I'm saying. It's just communicating so that everybody has the same information. So there's no misunderstanding. I'm big on communicating, because it's easy to just say something, well, I didn't know what. No, it's in writing. Look, this is what it says.
It's easy to assume things too,
and
that messes everybody up.
That's exactly right. And that's why I was saying with someone who doesn't go back. And now, technically, common sense would tell you to go back and get your flyer.
You would think that.
But that's also work.
Yeah.
That's also work, having to go back.
That's true too.
They're probably going to take it down when the new gig is up. Then they'll take it down because they got to put another one up.
Yeah.
But if you put the rules down, then everybody knows. Now, when they don't follow the rules, then we can call them out and say, hey, look, on the podcast.
Yeah, because,
hey, look, you know what? You didn't take your poster down.
That's the thing, though. Yeah. Y'all messing up, because guess what? I see your name on your flyer.
Hello.
And I see that it was from May 1st, and that date's already gone.
Hello.
So where are you at cleaning up your jank, man?
That's exactly right. But I like the idea of the kiosk. And, I've seen those things, but I've never stopped and looked at it before. I never really even paid too much attention.
Well,
but I will. I will start.
I know that I spend a lot of time downtown, and I know that whenever I see people that I don't usually see down, which is a lot, you see a lot of new people downtown. I'll see them stop and look, and, what's going on tonight.
Yeah.
I've had them even stop and ask me, hey, that guy down there said that you might know what's going on tonight, and I'll be like, yeah, actually, blah, 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 blah.
I think that's an excellent idea. That really is, because I think what happens too often is that a lot of people, there's different places you can find out what's going on. You got a couple of websites that's, where you can find out in terms of events. And then you got in the Metro Spirit, they have that calendar, and the nightlife. And then you got the Applause on Wednesdays or Thursdays in the Augusta Chronicle. And some people, they may look at those, but I don't know if they look at those on a regular basis. So what the kiosk can do is kind of enhance. so that if you don't have the copy of the applause with you, which most people are not going to carry it around with them,
right,
and you just happen to be downtown, then they can stop at the kiosk. But that's an excellent idea. See, all these ideas that, we're going to make a great team, as a new mayor. That's right. Absolutely.
I like that. I'm going to have to write a song about our new mayor, Helen Blocker.
All right.
And then she can use it on campaign trail.
Okay, well, I tell you what, I've got a couple of people that have said that they're going to write some type of a song for me, either before or after the election.
Oh, really? So I got some competition, is what you saying?
That's right. Well, it'd be different genres.
Right.
That's right.
You need varieties of spice of life.
Oh, absolutely. And see, I love live music. I mean,
really?
Live. It doesn't even matter what genre. I love. Give me a live band anytime.
It would be a trip. Okay, I'm getting Mayor to come to one of my shows. That's what's up. Heck yeah.
Of course I will. Send me an invite. I'm there.
I am so happy that you came on the show.
I'm so happy that you invited me.
It has been a pleasure.
It's been my pleasure.
Very, very, very good guest you've been, and I'm really glad that I was able to just have a soul to soul with you.
Yeah.
And, it wasn't like, because I was afraid. I got to admit, politicians being politicians, but I really wouldn't.
I'm not a politician.
Right, I really wouldn't call you a politician.
That's right. No, I'm a servant. I'm a servant of the people, and just so that people can take a look a little bit more, they can go to my website, helenformayoraugusta.com.
Absolutely, I was going to ask you that.
Helen, FOR.mayoraugusta.com. Great website. Or hit me up on my Facebook page, Helen for Mayor Augusta on Facebook, and like my page, and a lot of exciting things going on over the next few days. But certainly I want your vote. If you're a registered voter in Richmond County, we want your vote. Vote for Helen for Mayor, your next mayor.
And if you got issues that you want to see changed in the city, send Helen an email.
Absolutely.
She's going to read it. Okay?
I sure will. I sure will.
Well, I got to give a few shout outs.
Okay.
Butch Palmer at the Butch Palmer Salon on Crawford Avenue in Harrisburg. He's doing my hair. And of course, right now I haven't had a chance to really, take care of myself the way I'm supposed to. But usually it looks really good. Thank you, Butch, for that. Y'all go see Butch Palmer. Also, I need to give a shout out to Greenlight Studios for letting us do this here. Miss Helen Blocker. Y'all go and check her out on Helen for Mayor at Facebook, and Helen for Mayor
Augusta.com. Yes.
And that's our show for this week, and we'll see you next week. And my next guest is Paul Knight from Pit Boss. So we're going to have the outro music come in.
All right. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Happy Bones.
I appreciate
had a blast. This was
Helen's going to be the mayor, y'all.
Oh, yes.
Because you were just listening to the Soulcast with Woody Wood. We'll see you next week.